What happened to Dorsey? They was just in the front.
Yep, he got passed up.
We don't know who the new image. This is whoever's new image.
On the home straightaway, followed by Dorsey. Mesa.
My man running ugly, but he getting there.
Man, a 4x4, one of the best races there is.
Oh, that's Cathedral with the new image on. All right, Dorsey, let's go.
Somebody got some ugly form in that last one. I'm not sure who.
Oh, that's good.
He got some good form. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I might have just got my son to run track his junior year. I might have talked him into it.
Oh my
You
God.
think he'll do it?
What is he doing? He looked like he just kind of coasting.
I don't know, but this kid from Dorsey, yeah, Miss Mack called it right. He's coasting.
Mm-hmm.
This kid out front got a nice little stride.
That's Cathedral. I'm like, new image. It says new image though.
That brother running like Giannis. The stride.
And he looked tall.
That's kind of why I want my son to run. I said, man, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing when you don't run track.
Yep.
Facts.
At a traditional high school, track and field is the funnest sport of all sports.
Definitely is. That's what got us together, AC.
Hey, I ain't even going to dispute that. I believe it 100%. Track and field, man.
Meet.
Did it share?
Oh, it was the city meet. No.
All right.
It was the city meet, AC, the city track meet.
Check again.
It was all that downtime between races.
Yep, you get to meet people.
And I was like, oh, who is that? I was like, oh, just my type. I said, oh my God, that is Jim. Stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
I said, you get to travel, you get to hang out. The coach gives you the green light to beat dudes up if they talk bad about your girl, Sunkiss. Back in the day, the sports arena.
Yep.
I was telling somebody about the Clippers home court. Used to be the sports arena. I said we used to have a track meet there, and it was on wood, indoors with the sharpest bank curves, and we practiced. I'm not sure how y'all practiced that curve at the wash, but we had to run the soccer circle in the middle of the field. So so the coach made us turn our ankles to prepare for that bank, because we seen people run off the top of that thing.
Yeah.
If you don't turn that ankle, you going off the top. So yeah, man, 1585 show. We have been interrupted by one of the best track meets in the country, the California State Meet. If you have never participated, you are missing out.
Yes, it's a sight to see, man. The California State Meet. My biggest memory of the State Meet was the Harrison twins.
Oh man, you were there?
I was there, man. I don't know who the other two legs were. I don't think they mattered. But the Harrison twins got the baton. It was lightning in a bottle. They both. How you in a 4x4 make two comebacks to win it?
Bruh.
The second leg they were down. Second leg put them in front. One of the Harrison brothers. Third leg got ran down, gave to the other Harrison brother, and he won it.
And didn't he run like a half the lap with his hand in the air?
Yep.
Like, remember that? I was like,
Yep.
oh man, this is disrespectful. Oh, I gotta fix this. Who can fix it? It says my friends only can see this. I need to fix that. So that's not why we can't get no posts. It's saying my friends can see it, but nobody else can see it. Let me go to our website real quick. I'm gonna mute my for a second.
All right.
AC, if you can hear me, the last 2 weeks I couldn't see the comments from other folks. So I guess if I joined gyms, I couldn't see the comments from the people on the other.
Long time no hear, man.
Go. Now we in the crib. Now we got action balls. It's really hard.
It's hard to be great nowadays. Hard to be great nowadays.
They won't let us be great. All right, man. I'm under my car fixing a starter. It took me a half an hour to take one bolt off, man. I think nah, bro. It was gonna be $1,500 for a 2-hour job I could do myself. I've done it before. It's just my hands don't fit in the crevice, so I gotta get special tools and angles. I'm just happy I don't have to take the axle off to get to it. Some of the YouTube videos I'm watching YouTube videos. All right, so this is what happened, man. My son had practice, training, and then his friend said, hey, man, my travel ball team got a game. Can you play? And they go and have a game. All the while, I got to get a rental car because my starter went out of my truck. My wife had to run errands, so I only had one car today. So I had to find a rental car. And you know how hard it is to find a rental car a day of.
Mm-hmm.
In a half an hour block.
Unless you want a hoopty, one of them little.
It wasn't even no hoopties, man. It wasn't even no hoopties. I was like, yo, Enterprise, man. You got 15 cars outside. I can't get one. They're all booked. I was like, man. He said, okay, I got one. This Infinity Q50. I'm thinking $75, $85 a day. All right. That'd be $135 a day. I'm like, for an Infinity Q50, I could barely fit in that car. Oh, well, of course my wife loves it. Get to my son's game. Everything's good. Get back to the house. Get under the hood. And there's a nut bolt so far up in the crevice, man. I'm like, whose hands fit up there and whose wrench is really going to fit up there, man? More time I said get a mechanic. Nah, bro. I'm trying to save myself $1,000. I'm about to move my daughter into college. That stuff is expensive. She don't have no furniture. And she got an apartment. It's about to cost me a grip.
Hey, better Uber.
Uber ain't cheap neither, man. He said, one time, if I'd have Ubered today, man, it would have been $300. I mean, going from my crib to the map, which is in what? Stanton? I don't know how far that is. I'd have been paying as much as I paid for this rental. All right, man. 1585, shit. I think we in here, man.
Yeah, we in there.
Mike Staff said he got the hookup on that car. It's a nice car, but I barely fit in that car. And you know my son don't fit in the car. Uh-oh, who's running? I see some sisters behind me.
The Hurdles.
Hurdles, let's do it. Miss Mac, I'm gonna make it worse. I've done this before, Miss Mac. Thank you very much. It's just I have not done it on this truck. I'm about to get paid. Man, it's going to be a little raise. I'm right there already. But my daughter's about to break the bank on me, man. If you fit, so I fit. Nah, Mike, you don't fit.
The cost of education for these kids, man, to get them an opportunity to have a better shot at life. Cost money.
I'm paying for her the luxury. She want to stay at the nice apartment, not the hood apartment, the nice one with the security guard and all that good stuff.
Yeah, heck yeah. If you don't treat your princess right, you don't expect another man come courting her to treat her right. Hey, see?
I gotta do the right thing. Give my daughter everything she needs to be successful. Now that boy, he need to get a full ride. I don't care what nobody's talking about. We gonna get a full ride somewhere. We gonna go to South Dakota HBCU Tech State. Oh, Motown. I can shrink.
Motown, that's on YouTube right now.
It's on YouTube. YouTube, man. YouTube. All right, man. Let's get into it. 1585 show. You know the routine. Our intro was Max scoring, me getting the pick, but we ain't got time for that. I got to get underneath this car because the rental car is due tomorrow morning. So let me get this.
Yeah.
In
the words of the immortal Bernie Mac, we gonna make this quick fast.
quick fast. All you do is spin records.
That's all you do.
All you do. Dollar Bill. Chi-Town.
Pay them country boys nothing.
Chi-Town, nothing. Motown said, I have a son. He was trash in sports. What? Why? Man. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it real. Keep it real, Motown. You don't sugarcoat it for these kids. Dwight Howard sugarcoating for Ben Simmons. That's my guy. Send him some positivity. No, I ain't sending him no positivity. Get in the gym, boy. Quit playing around.
You know we got the Ralph Tresvant generation of young athletes now, man.
I
Men
need
with
a man.
sensitive.
You need a man, warm, sensitive. That's what I can give.
We had tough love all through the hood because you competed with your boys.
And they talked about you.
And they talked about you if you sucked. If you couldn't kick the ball out the infield and kick ball, you got made fun of.
Man, you ain't get picked up.
You most definitely ain't getting picked up.
You ain't getting picked.
It's on that.
You be the last pick, and they say we got enough. It's an odd number. No, we got enough. We got them.
No, we'll play with 8.
We got 8. We good. What about right field? Nobody kicks the right field no more. Hey, man. No participation trophies. Rodney Sauce, that's what I'm talking about. No participation trophies. If I had a son and he was trash in sports, I would strongly suggest he become a lawyer or a rapper. A lawyer or a rapper, that's a wide spectrum.
That's even harder, man. Shoot, getting a rap.
I think a lawyer he had a chance, but he won't be a good lawyer. He just be a lawyer.
Johnny Cochran.
He ain't gonna be like that. I mean, you know how hard it is to become a high-profile attorney. Our buddy Rodney Lee's an attorney. I think he's keeping it real modest. He ain't going hard. Miss Mack called Dwight Howard a BAN again. Dang.
He's the leader of the band.
He's the leader of the band.
Some major of the band.
Chris Motown said he was garbage, and I let him know. Son, mad to this day. He be at the park. Man, Dad would have just believed in me. I would have been something. Shut up. Quit thinking about that. Got you a nice job. You were never good in sports. Mike Staff wants to know what a BAN is. Where's Miss Mac? Let her come with her pouty mouth. Explain to the viewers what a BAN is. Ooh, look at my picture on my phone. You missed it. It was me and Don from En Vogue.
Don from En Vogue. Used to have a crush on Don from En Vogue.
I got a picture with Don from En Vogue. A BAN is a witch, a ninja.
Ninja.
You fill in the blanks. There she go. All right, man. So you got some good topics, man. We watching track and field behind my head. You say the worst way you can, Mike, and you get it. Miss Mac defined it for us. Sha'Carri Richardson versus the world. Oh man, girl got so much style and pizzazz and flair. What we gonna do with her?
Man, we gonna let her be. Let her be who she is.
Man,
Dallas, man.
If I was 18, she wouldn't have a chance. Shut up, Miss Mac.
She was 18.
If
She's
I was
3 years.
That's when
young.
that's how old I was when I hollered at Don from En Vogue. I was on him. I heard she swings the other way, but I believe the way we used to spit game, we'll keep her on the right path.
Hair, girl, give that hair, give it.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson, man, she doing her thing, man, and I like the fact that she's unique and she's herself.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? She is totally original and everything she do, from the way she walks. She got that little hood girl walk, that little quick step, like she ready to set something off.
oh man, she got so much attitude. I used to love girls like that.
Oh
And
man, I
she
couldn't
is-
stand girls like that with attitude, man. 'Cause I have to,
They
I have
were
to get out my Christian self and have to fight with them.
they were a challenge. They were always a challenge, and they would always challenge you. Since I never had a steady girlfriend to my wife, she would be one of them dates that you just knew was gonna be fun.
Oh, Daddy, did you put the timer on the Oh, Lord. Sorry, I get burned. Hold on, let me go look.
My wife dinner.
Uh-oh.
I'm not burning nothing. You the one that was.
I didn't put nothing in. You didn't tell me.
Motown said my Long Beach game is weak. Long Beach game. Oh, bruh. I'm trying to tell you, man. I was batting 1,000.
Motown is talking bad about brothers from Long Beach in a game. Dang, Motown.
Oh man, if we can go back in time, Motown had that Al B. Short thing going on. He was like Creole. He looked real like the real light skinned brothers. Like the barge white light skins. Yeah, at least I had some orange. I had some orange pigmentation, so I had that Puerto Rican thing going on. Motown had that Creole thing going on, like he was from LSU, but he went to Washington State, tipping cows at night. That's what their fun activities was, tipping cows. That's how that's what they try to get us to do on our recruiting trip. Come out here and tip these cows. It's fun. I was like, man. Mike Staff said she went from last place a few years ago to the best. Is she juicing?
She choked, and then, you know, if you know anything about track and field, your seasons can be long. If you don't peak at the right time, like you can be the fastest in the world, but if you don't peak at the right time, or you just have one bad race. She had a bad race in the finals 2 years ago in 2019, and she didn't make the U.S. World Championship team. I mean, and you seen a girl from some years ago that had the world record in the hurdles. She took 6 in the U.S. Trials for the Olympics. The 3 girls that took first, second, and third swept the Olympics, gold, silver, and bronze. But she set the world record like 2 weeks before the Olympics. So, you know, sometimes you just have, you know, a tough time. Track and field is on that day who's the best. And the last time Sha'Carri Richardson was in the U.S. or in the Olympic or the U.S. Nationals, she had a bad race.
But
this time she got out slow, but her top end speed and her acceleration brought her through. She relaxed. The last time she got out slow, she panicked. This time she got out slow and she just ran her race. She executed. I mean, she ran what 1080 to win. You know, so I mean the girl is rolling, man. 1072 is her personal best that she ran in the round. So I mean, she look like she's rolling right now, man.
But she's 5'1". She was not hitting those times until now. And then you have Shelly Ann Fraser-Price hitting that time, that 10.6. And then you had the high school girl hit that 10.6.
Yeah.
Are we haters to have that very small thought in our minds? I hope they clean. Because you know how close 10.6 is to 10.4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if someone feels good that day, 10.4 is achievable.
Yeah.
But I hate that I feel like that. Like I believe Mike said, juicing. Are they juicing? Because now all of these young girls are running 10.6. And it's an honest concern. I hope it's legit. But she is so tiny, man. And she don't have a good start. She don't get out the blocks like, you know, she don't bust the blocks back like Gail Devers and them used to do. She gets out nice and gentle, and then she picks up speed, and it's like, oh my God, she picks them up and put them down so graciously.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, with the 100, everybody think the 100 meters is just flat out speed, man. There's a technique to running that. You know, we talked about this earlier, man. Like with Otto Bowden and Maurice Green, I'm there for the first 30 meters. Then that's when speed takes over from the technique. Like we had the same technique. We were taught the same technique from John Smith, but those dudes had better top end speed. So getting out, the execution of it, I was there with them. But then when it came to getting longer, and that's what Sha'Carri Richardson has. Her execution isn't great coming out of the block, which will hurt her against Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, because Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is one of the best starters ever when it comes to getting out the blocks.
Good Lord, who's that?
The Castillon, she took silver in that Olympics that I was talking about in the hurdles. Yeah, she's she's a tough runner, and she's very pleasing on the eye.
What Eddie Murphy say? She's breathtaking. Good.
Yeah. So she's been around for around. So yeah, and Mike Marsh, which Motown brought up. I broke Mike Marsh's indoor record at UCLA for 55 meters, which they don't run no more. They put it to 60. So I broke his record out there because getting out of the blocks, I was good at getting out the blocks. It's just I didn't have the top end speed that the other guys had. But yes, the 100 meters, man, if she don't get out on Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, she'll be in for a long day. But when you look at how I said it, Sha'Carri Richardson versus the world, she has the second fastest time so far this year at 10:72. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price blazed to 10:63. But her biggest competition is usually in the United States and Jamaica. So she's probably run against all of them in Diamond Leagues and through college and stuff like that. So she knows these girls. The only other person that I think that if they get into top form that's going to compete with Price and Richardson may be Elaine Thompson, even though she's getting, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is long in the tooth now. This would be like her fourth Olympics. You have Morrison from Jamaica, Blessings Okabare from Nigeria, Dina Asher-Smith, who was a silver medalist in the World Championships at 100 meters behind Fraser-Price in the last World Championships. So, and Brianna Williams, who our boy Otto Bowden coaches. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be very, very interesting to see this on the world stage. And I don't think a lot of these women in tip-top form right now, but they're saving that final push and that final training for the Olympics. I think we're going to see the final in the Olympic women 100. You're going to have about 5 to 6 girls under 10. I mean, not under 10, under 11. Mm-hmm. They'll be between 1070 to 1090, and that would be the final because you have so many that have run.
Crazy, man.
So it's gonna be crazy, man. That used to be unheard of.
That's
what
that's what I'm saying though, bro. Like technique hasn't advanced that much. Strength training has not advanced that much. What is the difference? Why are so many now tipping under 11?
Better coaching. Think about all the people who were in our age group that learned how to run and learned all these techniques are teaching this now. Back in the days, not every coach was teaching these type of techniques. Not every coach was teaching that. So the coaching has gotten better. I mean, I was told by an Olympian once that, most people aren't clean. There's something that they're taking, but if you don't take it, you will put yourself at a disadvantage. Now, I don't know how true that is. I'm only just taking that person for their word, but it's crazy, man. I don't know. I would hope that they're not because most of the athletes I knew were natural. One of my buddies from running track, Danny McCrae, he ran in the U.S. Olympic trials as the clean person in the race. He was the cleanest person in that race. He didn't take nothing. He didn't take supplements, none of that stuff. He said, I just want to run naturally. And he didn't make the Olympic team. But you talking about a dude who was blazing in college. Like, he was the man, but he couldn't make an Olympic team. Well, the United States is going to always be packed with people, but the drugs are always ahead of the test. And that's what they will say. Yeah. But I think if all is even, Sha'Carri Richardson has a great chance of getting this done. Yeah. She has a great chance of getting this done. And I'll be in her corner, even though she'll be going against my favorite woman sprinter, Dina Asher-Smith from the UK, who I like. I love her story. She worked at the Olympics in 2012 and has built herself up to being a world champion at 200 meters and at, silver medalist in the 100 meters in the last world championships. But I'm still going to be pulling for both of them. I want them to go silver and gold. But Fraser-Price, who is a GOAT at this 100 meters. I mean, she's not FloJo, because FloJo's a goddess, but for Shelly Ann Fraser is the GOAT.
Well, you said Allison Felix was the GOAT.
No, well, I'm in 100. Allison Felix is the GOAT in track because of her range from 100 to 204. Fraser-Price, when it just comes to just the 100,
just the 100.
She's at, and then in the 200, Richardson is right there in the mix. She got the 5th fastest time in the world. She's gonna have to take down some beasts, though. I mean, if you saw Gabby Thomas run today in the trials, the girl from Harvard, black girl from Harvard, she ran 21:94 today, and she's big and she's strong. Like that's her race. The 200 is her race. You got Prandini, you got Shawnee Miller-Weibo, who's, I mean, that girl looks like an avatar when she's running, like from the movie. She's graceful. She's long. She has long strides. She's powerful, man. I mean, she's an athlete. You get her and LeBron James that make a baby, they will have a super baby. That baby will be a super baby.
Beast.
Of course, my girl Dina Asher-Smith in the 200, the defending world champion. But Sha'Kari's right there, man. And if she can get out the Olympic trials, they have the finals tomorrow in the 200. She gets out the Olympic trials, she has a good chance of doubling. And that would be great because, Flojo and did it. And then your girl from Jamaica, Elaine Thompson did it in the Olympics with the double. So it's going to be interesting, man. And then you got the old head, Allison Felix is still in there, man.
She's an old head. Man. All right, so what? You ran track at a high level. Is it gold medal or bust? Or will they be happy with the silver or the bronze? And will the 4x4, the 4x100 be as anticipated as we are guessing right now? Like, is it all or nothing? Is this it? Like, they have world championships, but this is the Olympics. And is it gold medal or bust? Or are they happy just to be on the podium?
I mean, I've never ran the Olympic level. I didn't have that type of speed. But I was just telling my daughter today when we were watching the state meet, watching her godbrother run. I said, baby, I took 8th in the state meet in the 200 my senior year of high school. And that was last place in the race. And she was like, oh, Daddy, I said, but you got to think it's thousands of runners out there in the state of California running. And for me to take 8th, and I ran my worst time, in 2 years, I ran 22.8 that day. I had no speed that day. And I was like, that's crazy. So for the Olympics, man, we look at people and we think of epic failures like Lolo Jones when she was supposed to win the gold medal in the 100. She didn't get it. In hurdles, she didn't get it. So for some people, it is that. Is that big for them? Gold medal or bust, or even the silver medal ain't something. Like I seen Allison Felix one year when she lost in the 200 at the Olympics. She was not pleased at all. So some people, gold medal or bust. But I mean, to me, just to get to that level, to make it is amazing. But you only get a couple of shots at this. Our friend Michelle Perry, she's a 2-time world champion, didn't compete in the Olympics in the hurdles. So she's a 2-time world champion in the hurdles, but never ran in the Olympics, and she was always hurt in those Olympic years. Yeah. So it's one of these things that you would love to, because Olympics is such a big stage.
It's the biggest stage, man.
Gold medal can be millions for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And advertising.
Yeah.
And all. It's crazy. Remember Carrie Strug? Yeah. Strug when she got that gold medal.
Oh man. But I just wonder if Carrie does not win, how much. I mean, because she got so much pizzazz, personality, attitude. Shelly Ann Fraser Price, she might be a little modest because she's been there before. But it's like Motown said, like you said, for some, it's gold or bust. How is it going to look? Are they going to be cordial? Are they going to hug? Girl, you did that? Or is it going to be next time? I'm going to get this. I mean, it's always interesting to see how they respond. Like Motown said, they're not going there for second place.
Yeah, nobody goes. Well, you know what? There are people who are realistic. I ain't winning.
Well, is Allison Felix thinking is Allison Felix going to win, or is she happy to be in her 5th Olympics or 4th?
I think Allison Felix, her thing is getting on the Olympic team. For her, people like Sydney McLaughlin and Dalilah Muhammad, who has the greatest rivalry in track and field right now in the 400 hurdles, they going for gold. Second place to them is not acceptable because they want to beat each other so bad. Not that they hate each other; they're just rivals. They're the two best 400 hurdlers of all time. They want to prove that I'm the greatest. Dalilah Muhammad at the World Championships a couple of years ago ran the world record to beat McLaughlin, who ran the 3rd fastest time ever. So it's absolutely crazy. But for some, I don't think Sha'Carri Richardson she shouldn't feel that way, gold or bust, because she's still young. She's 21. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, I think, is 34 years old, and she's still running. So I think that gives her hope that even if I don't win it this year, because remember, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price lost in 2016 and she's back at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So, she wasn't there in 2016. Let me take that. She had her baby. But, with the training, with the advancement in medicine and health, she can have a long career. Remember, Carl Lewis had a long career, and we was like, man, nobody else will ever have that. Nowadays, I think you can really, really do it. I think even if she don't win it this year, she got time. I think she can at least make 2 more Olympics. If I was her, I wouldn't be mad if I took silver. Because I got time. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price will be exiting, and Sha'Carri Richardson right now is the face of track and field, and she's a young star, and I think that she has the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. Elaine brought up Sha'Carri just lost her mother as well, so she'll be running for her. So she'll be running with an added incentive to bring this thing home. But I just don't want her to have the disappointment, because running that fast, top end, everything has to be working on all cylinders as far as your body's concerned, how you feel. Hamstrings, quads, glutes, calves, everything got to be on to run your top speed. And if they are PRing right now, can they continue to work to that next level, 10.5, and everything work as planned? So, I can't wait, man. I'm all geeked up like it's tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Motown said, Mac, you ain't never went into a football game thinking you can't beat the corner covering you. I guess that's talking to going into a race knowing you can't really. I think track is different, man.
Track is a little bit different because, I had to race against Pat Johnson and Brian Howard in my senior year. Pat Johnson beat Carl Lewis in a race. You know what I'm saying?
You're not beating him. Stay with him.
My thing was that, of course I want to beat them.
You're going PR.
But I was being realistic. I want them to carry me to a PR. Like the time I ran 2090 at Mount Sac. I got carried in by Pap Howard. You know what I'm saying? Pap Howard had ran 2050. My best was 21 flat. So he carried me to the 2090. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like I barely lost the race, but that's the difference between 2050 and 2090. It's like a step.
Yeah.
That's a step. We're talking about just like that.
A blink.
So it's really crazy on how that works. So I didn't think that I can beat certain guys. My thing was, can I PR and run my best against these guys? You know what I'm saying? Like running against Otto Bowden in practice is tough. I ain't beating Otto unless we go anything over 200. I got a shot. Right. But anything 100 to 200, man, I'm not going to be close. But I want him to carry me. Like they say, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You want somebody else that's really good to carry you, along. I know I'm not going to beat him unless I just really break out. But I understood where I was. I wasn't really running track to go to the Olympics. I was running to make myself faster for football. So I knew my place. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. But it don't hurt to go in there and shock the world. Shock the world. So this black girl magic, man. Every Olympics, we kind of get a little taste of it. What can we expect this Olympics with Simone Biles, all the track athletes we just mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
Our young lady that's a swimming dynamo. What's her name?
Simone.
What's her last name?
Emmanuel.
Simone Emmanuel. All these Simones. So, I don't think, is Serena gonna play this year? Not definite yet. But yeah, man.
2016 was the first year in the Olympics where they really showed black women across all these sports, because you usually just have the black women on the USA basketball team who just dominate. They totally dominate. They're way more dominant than the men on that world stage. And then you had the black woman shot putter. You had Simone Biles. You had Simone Manuel. You had all these black women in Rio, just, as we would call it, balling. They were just balling. They were dominant. I think it's going to be more of a focus on that now, because you have so many across all the sports. Gymnastics, swimming, track and field, basketball. They got rugby in there, and they got this young lady, Nia Tapper, who's a rugby star out of North Carolina.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? She's going to be in the Olympics. Crystal Dunn for the soccer team. You know, so you got all these black women, you know, that are going to go out there and they're going to be on the spotlight, you know, and a lot of them are going to be from the United States. So the spotlight is going to really shine on them. And with everything that's going on in the United States when it comes to social justice and, you know, the movement and stuff like that. Like today, we just got the Chauvin sentencing and stuff like that. All this stuff is going to come to light. All this stuff is going to come to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? And so these black women are going to be there dominating. Hopefully they're dominating. And it's going to just put a spotlight on why does America have these black athletes who are shining, but still black people in general in the country aren't given the respect that they deserve, despite the fact they put on that red, white, and blue and they dominate for this country. As Doc Rivers said, how can I love a country that doesn't love me back? You know, so it's just one of those things, you know, and I want to also give a shout out to my favorite football player of all time, NFL football player, Brandon Cunningham, because his daughter Vashti Cunningham will be probably in the Olympics. So that's more black girl magic you're going to see just all up and down these Olympics. And that's going to be very, very big, you know, for not just for the sport, but for women of color around the world in general. You know what I'm saying? Because they get to see these women performing. And there's women in other countries too, you know, like the black women in for the Swiss team that run track.
France,
you know what I'm saying? You got
Great Britain and France.
Great Britain. So you're going to see all these black women shining, like even the Canadian women's basketball team with all those UConn players that came from Canada that's going to be on that team. And then the French team with Gabby Williams. It's going to be a lot of black girl magic going. I can't wait to see it. You know, we're going to get to witness history in the making. Every time we see Olympics, we're witnessing history in the making. But what we're going to really see is black women out in the forefront doing their thing. And I think it's going to be beautiful, man, because at first they gave us small doses of it. But that's the selling point now in the world stage. These black women who are dominating, you know, African diaspora just balling around the world. So this is going to be interesting, man. I can't wait. Like you said, it seems like it's going to be tomorrow. Like we're Christmas Eve and Christmas. I can't wait for this Olympics, man.
I mean, I watch races that I've seen before, like it's going to be different outcome. You know, it's you know, I don't know why, man. And I just know it's because I ran 3 years of track. Like I didn't run track as a kid. I avoided track and field at all costs when I got to high school. I saw how hard they practiced. And the coaches kept getting at me, said, if you want to be good at football, you're going to have to run track. All right, I'll come out and do the high jump, but I'm not running. Okay. And then that's how you got me out there. I saw my team getting beat, and they like, we sure could use you if you ran. And I'm over there doing the high jump. Got my little outfit, got my little jumpsuit. I'm on the team. I'm a high jumper. That's it. I'm not doing nothing else but the high jump. Sure could use another leg on this 4x4, but I guess we're going to get somebody else. I sure could use somebody in the 100. I guess we don't have nobody. And I'm just like, oh, God. All right, I'll run it. He's like, all right. I'm put you in the 8, get you in shape. I'm like, the 8? Oh. So put me in the 800, get me started. And after that, I had to learn how to run. So, but yeah, man, like I told my son, you ran track a couple years when you were a little bit younger. And you did pretty well. You got to, I think, number 10 in the state as like a 10-year-old. But him and his sister both decided that track and field was not for them. Broke my heart. My daughter has legs up to her neck, and she won't run track. So I'm always going to tease her about what could have been. Mm-hmm. But I'm like to my son.
Just long, though. That's what sucks the life out of it. I've had plenty of kids in my program coaching track that ran youth track and were really good, and they're pretty much done when they get to high school. They don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
You know, because of all those long meets and doing things like that. You know, I mean, I got a little, you know, the apple don't fall far from the tree. My daughter is blazing fast. You know, I don't really put her in these youth meets because it's been all day, and I know her. It's hot.
It's hot, and we've been here all day. And it's Saturday, and Sunday for 4 races that take under 10 seconds. If my son was running the 2 to 4, and they are like on different days, 8 hours apart. Like, oh man, it's like the longest, most drawn out. And then 85% of the kids can't run.
Yep.
It is
50 heats in the 100, another 50 heats in the 100, another 50 heats in the 400. You're like, dude, this is taking forever.
Did I tell you the story about my son and how he was collecting the medals?
Mm-mm.
All right, man. My son, he had natural speed as he was learning how to run. And sometimes he would run fast, sometimes he wouldn't. His coach would be on his head. I had to bribe him to run fast. Sometimes I had to say, we're going to go buy some toys after this if you run hard. He'll run hard. So he runs about 5 or 6 meets, and he's collecting medals, getting first place, second place. And then I see a big drop off in his production. I'm like, why are you struggling all of a sudden? And then he's like, I don't know. And then he's, over a course of a couple more weeks, I'm looking at him as he runs the 1, 2, and the 4. He's coming in different places. And one race was really odd. He was in first place on the quarter. And he's coming around, and he starts looking back at the other kids. And he starts slowing down. And then one kid passes him, another kid passes him, and then he lets every single kid pass him. And he's happy. And then they gave him the medal. It's the colorful medal you get to coming in last place. And I said, what? I said, why'd you do that? He said, now I have all 8. I was like, I said, you have all 8. I said, this ain't.
Like them like Pokemon.
He was collecting Pokemon. There's track medals. I was like, you have all 8. He's like, yeah, now I got blue, I got red, I got green, I got purple, I was like, oh man, you gotta love this kid. He was collecting medals, could care less about what place he came in. I said, that's my kid right there, man. I said, the coach had to laugh. He had an old school coach too, and he was like, what are you doing, Alexander? And he was just like, I got it. And it was like, what, are you injured? It's like, no, I needed the 8th place medal because I don't have one yet. I was like, that is the most, because this is the participation era. They give a medal for everything. And he was noticing that everybody was getting different color medals, and he was like, I'm gonna get that rainbow one before I finish running track. And I just,
oh no, man,
I had to laugh, man.
Man, you got clowned in my neighborhood. You got an 8th place rainbow.
He was like,
oh,
he was like, no, I got the 8th on purpose. I showed y'all I can beat him. He said, I beat everybody in this race, but I don't have that rainbow medal yet. I think it's cool. I was like, oh, all right. All right. I think it was red, white, and blue. Like it had like a different design on it, but the rest of them were solid. And then this one had like the money ball color. And I was like, this kid right here, boy, we got a good laugh. We got a good laugh out of that. All right, man. NBA conference finals. The return of PG-13. The redemption. Do you believe is PG-13 rated R, NC-17, or is he gonna be rated G, and the Suns gonna finish this thing out in a couple days?
I don't know, man. PG been balling, man, but it ain't just been PG. It's been the whole team. Yeah. Terrence Mann has been kicking butt, and especially third quarter. It's like third quarter comes, and Terrence Mann is like, he flips on that light switch and he goes out there and starts balling. But this is going to go 7. I think the Clippers are going to get another one tomorrow, and then they'll go back to Phoenix. Then it'll be the best 2 out of 3 series right there. And I don't know, man. I believe in the Clippers. I just see that Monty Williams, even though I wouldn't say he got out-coached, I just think that Booker, with having a broken nose, has changed his game a little bit. Because remember, he was killing, and he broke his nose in game 2, and he has to get used to playing like that, probably struggling breathing, stuff like that. So I think it's going to be this is a toss-up series. I'm just interested to see it because he's going to get a black coach in the NBA Finals no matter what, Monty Williams and Ty Lue. So I'm happy about that, and I've been a Monty Williams fan since he coached in New Orleans with the when they were still the Hornets, and he had Chris Paul then. So it'd be good to see that come full circle to see Monty Williams there. But you know, it's LA. I'm an out loud Clipper fan. I'm just a low key Suns fan because of Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson. So I would love to see the Clippers get them one. I would love to see them get one, but I wouldn't be mad if the Suns got it. Yeah. But in that Eastern Conference Final, I mean, it's been 2 different games. I mean, Atlanta ball, and they look good. Trae Young, I mean, 45 game. I mean, geez, that dude he's killing, man. And see Nate McMillan get that full turnaround because Nate McMillan has been passed up for some jobs. Now he's doing a really good job. He's still the interim coach. They're in the conference final, and he's still the interim coach. That is absolutely crazy to me. But tonight, Milwaukee just put it on Atlanta. So this is going to be an interesting series. I still think Milwaukee might do it, but I would love to see Atlanta against the Clippers or the Suns to have 2 black head coaches meet up in the NBA Finals. I think would be absolutely amazing for the sport.
People are saying this is the worst playoffs because the big name teams aren't there. I beg to differ. I like the parity. I like that there will be a new champion, some new blood, and I get it. All the injuries to all these all-stars has taken some of the luster off, but I am still intrigued with these Bucks, with these Hawks, Suns, and Clippers. So I'm a fan, man. I'm watching it. Kawhi's not playing. That's my favorite player, and he's not playing. So, but I'm still intrigued to see what Reggie does, what Terrence Mann does, what PG-13 shows up. Is it pandemic or MVP? Is the P from the MVP shows up? And I'm also always intrigued by how Monty Williams draws it up. Because after that Valley Oop, I mean, I don't know. This cat be designing plays. Like, who would design a play for your center when you have all those shooters? And that's probably what caught the Clippers off guard. And then I keep hearing how smart Ty Lue is. I read an article on how he's the mastermind. He's the reason why the Clippers have gotten past the first and second round where the Clippers have never been before, because he's the one playing chess, not checkers. So it's all good stuff, man. All good stuff. And we're seeing a couple more black coaches join the ranks. I don't know if you heard about Jason Kidd and then Boston Celtics hire. So
Ekpe Udo, right?
Yeah. Is it Nia Long's husband?
Yes.
Yeah. So Celtics get their man. And I just heard Chauncey Billups is going to coach the Blazers.
Okay, right on, man. So they leave the woman out. What's her name? The coach with the Spurs. She's not going to get a shot out of Becky Hammond.
Yeah. Are there any more spots available? That would be interesting to find out if they give her a shot, because she's proven she belongs. But does she belong? I mean, the Big Three champion was coached by a woman in my Ice Cube's league. I believe that was Team Power. Was it Team Power that won the championship with the legendary women's coach? I don't think it's even that. I just think right now it's fit. It's superstar approval. Which superstar is ready for that and wants that?
A superstar that's already confident in himself and probably already got rings.
Yeah.
That's what it would take.
Yeah.
To really prove that, because nowadays players do have the power. At least in basketball, they have the power to pick and choose the coach. Elaine Williams said it was Nancy Lieberman.
Yeah, she was hard. She was on them boys, and they respected her. Her voice was heard in the huddle, even though it's a Big Three. It's not as much scheming. It's more, 2-on-2 with a kick out. But it's still basketball. It's still.
Oh, get out your sister's room.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's where the NBA has it right. They actually know they have to have an ear to the players and connect them to voices that they respect and listen to. So I want to see what Coach Udoka says in relation to what he does with Jaylen Brown and what's our other Jason Tatum? Yeah, Boston, and then
worked with him before on Team USA, so they probably gave their stamp of approval.
Yeah, oh, that's kind of what happens now. You have to get the stamp of approval. They're going to sit out and boycott and demand a trade, James Harden.
I know James Harden's gonna approve that cat and then leave him hanging. I think that's one of the worst things that I've seen a player do to a coach. You give him the stamp of approval and then you bail on him.
And
I don't like that move at all.
And they gave you a star to play with, John Wall.
Yep.
But you didn't think that was a guy. So you get what you get. And the offensive foul rules have been changed. And we've been talking to the referees all week long on our text message chat.
Who the guys who are biased in their calls.
Rodney Saucier and AC from LA, Anthony Carter, have been trying to educate Jimmy and myself on refereeing and being an umpire. Well, the NBA is putting a stop to the offensive drawing the foul tactics. When it's, what's the rule say? Unnatural movement or abnormal movement?
Kicking the legs, jumping into the defender, jumping sideways into the defender.
Yeah, that's not how you shoot.
Yeah, but it's about time though. I mean,
there she goes.
Guys been getting away with that since the '90s, so it's another form. To me, it's another form of flopping.
Yeah,
another form of flopping that they just don't. And I always thought that was just one of the worst things that you can be called for. You have perfect defense, and the guy just jumps into you and draws a foul. I just think, wouldn't that be kind of like a charge? You know what I'm saying? Because you got defensive position and the guy try to barrel through you to get a foul. And I also don't like the raking of the arm foul where they pull through.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Your arm's already there.
I think that's a bailout. I think that's a bailout as well because the offensive player don't really have – they really can't do nothing but do that. Hoping that you stick your arm out and they pull their arm through your arm. So I didn't like that.
If I come up in there, everybody in trouble.
I'm glad too. I just wanted to be like – if you played a game without refs, you're not doing those things.
Yeah.
You're not trying to draw a foul on a three-pointer at LA Fitness.
That's a fight, though, at LA Fitness.
You at the Rucker Park. You at the Rucker trying to get that call. You're not getting that call. You rake through. My hand was already here. Yeah, I'm glad for it. I was laughing because when AC from LA was trying to give us a quiz, and I like, ain't nobody got time for all this, man. Just make the right call. People see what they see, and you have to make them feel, comfortable with the calls you make. When I heard that the rule is if a defender knocks the ball out, it is out on the defender, even if the offensive guy touches it last, because the ball is knocked out by the defender, and in the natural eye, that's what it looks like. But they're showing us on slow motion, so you can't keep that call. That's why they changed it. That's why they said Clippers ball. I think that's kind of what happened there. They can't go back against what they showing the people.
Yeah.
If we do this, it's going to be a riot.
It would show that it would, for those conspiracy theorists, it's fixed. That's what people would just say. Well, all this is fixed. You might lose fans behind something like that. So you can't go against the common sense of it. By doing that. Oh, this is what as I kept saying, the Junior Woodchuck guidebook it says. And the reason why I said that because they keep referring back to the rules. When you watch DuckTales, every time there was a situation, Huey, Louie, and Dewey would look in the Junior Woodchuck guidebook for the answer. I'm like, the rules can't have all the answers. It can't have everything. Sometimes common sense has to play into your officiating. So it's just really crazy on how a lot of this stuff works out, man. I mean, I can't be mad at refs. We have to replay everything, which I don't mind because I just want it to be right. You know what I'm saying? I want the plays to be right. And when I'm watching sports, I really don't care how long the sports take. I'm enjoying the sport. If the game goes 3 hours, I'm enjoying 3 hours of entertainment. What am I rushing for? I tuned in to watch the sport. So I just want everything to be made right when it comes to sports, especially when it comes to officials and their judgment and stuff like that. It's not to say the officials are always wrong. I just want the right thing to happen, the right outcome. If we had replay or we had people to review these fouls, history would be changed right now. You never know who could be what could be who, instead of what it is now. So I actually kind of like this stuff. So I'm glad they're finally changing those fouls, man, because the jumping into somebody, kicking your leg out to get tripped, or swing, unusual movements. to get fouled. I always thought that was a cop out for the offensive player.
Yeah, and I notice when the games get heated and it's a playoff game, I see whistles being swallowed and the inconsistency, and these are the best refs in the world.
Yeah.
They are selected because they're so good. Even they change the way they call games when the games get tough. Like that Nets Bucks overtime. A lot of contact.
Lots of contact.
They let them play. And it was welcome to see. I believe there was a post this week about bringing back hard fouls and making them regular fouls, just to get people like Trae Young and Lou Williams to understand they're still 6 feet tall, 175 pounds, and they should not be going in the key without feeling somebody's shoulder or elbow somewhere around the torso area, knowing that this is not somewhere you come in here and smile. You come in here with aggression, and you can get one, but it's going to be a little bit of contact in here, little homie. They letting these dudes do floaters. They letting these dudes doing little shimmies at the. I'm like, all right, this got to come to an end. The Sixers didn't do it. We didn't put no stank on anything. We didn't foul him. We didn't even scratch him. Mm-hmm. But if they could get to a point where that's not a flagrant one, it's just a hard foul. You get 6 of them. You get 5 before you're disqualified. Are you in favor or not in favor of bringing back hard fouls?
I'm not in favor of bringing back hard fouls because that just mucks up the game. The game of basketball was never meant to be played like that. Like where guys have this evilness to their foul. This plan that I'm going to either knock you out the game or I'm going to bully you and punk you out of it. So I didn't think that was good basketball. And people always talk about 80s rules. Yeah, they gave hard fouls, but in the 80s they scored. And they didn't shoot a lot of threes. So it still was a lot of easy layups, still a lot of dunks. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you went to the hole with conviction. Like Karl Malone, I remember Karl Malone, when he went to the hole, he knew he was going to get hammered. So he brought his knee up. So he was going to dish out as much punishment as he was going to take. It mucked the game up. So once they got to the 90s, it was all about mucking the game up. Basketball really took a dive. It sucked. I didn't really like watching 90s basketball unless I was watching the Golden State Warriors or the Phoenix Suns that were still trying to get up and down the court. Other teams were just like, it was WWE, like tag Xavier McDaniel in from Charles Oakley, just go out there and
mug it up,
kill somebody. You know, but I didn't like it, and I like the fact that there's flagrant fouls for hard fouls because that's not really a basketball play. It's really, because think about it. Some of these guys are in the air. Some of these guys are going through a natural motion. You foul them hard, you give them a tough foul. Now we have what we have now in the playoff situation where all these stars are hurt. Kawhi got a hard foul coming up the court where he got bumped off his stride because the guy was trying to, be physical. Now Kawhi's out.
Yeah. I like it. I like hard fouls. I just know that at the end of the day, if you want to go there, we can just go there. And we just going to be fighting and we'll be ejected. We shouldn't go there. But if we do go there, and we both are grown men, and I foul you hard, and it's within the basketball play, it shouldn't be no ejection, no flagrant 1, flagrant 2. It's a hard foul. Now, I know it's some dirty stuff like the Bynum on Barrera. That was dirty, where he elbowed him in the side and just kind of walked away from him. Or Derek Fisher meeting the screen at the top of the key and gave him the shoulder and kind of like clotheslined him. The Kurt Rambis clothesline. Just knowing that those things could happen, I think would change some of this freedom everybody feels they have. It's almost like how football no longer, you can't get hit across the middle. Unless the guy wants to get ejected and fined, you can't get blasted anymore across the middle. I think you got booted out. Let me go solo until Matt comes back. Let me get this going. So I like flagrant fouls. I like the idea of the game being mucked up a little bit. That's how I roll. Moton said his son, what do you say? My son didn't get no medals. He said, no trophies from my son. No medals, no trophies from my son. Only plaque he got was on his teeth. That's got to be the funniest thing, man. That's the funniest thing, man. Reggie Jackson is the reason he's been balling all playoffs. Reggie Jackson been good for a minute. Reggie Jackson's been good for a minute. OKC, Reggie Jackson was a baller too. Clippers ain't winning, Mac. Miss Mac said, "Go Clippers." All teams, LA. I don't know. The Lakers fans said, "Nah, we ain't down with that. We ain't down with that." I have a pic that was posted on Facebook over 10 years ago when I was wearing my Lakers shirt and my Clippers hat. Yeah, I'm sure you was getting talked about that day. Let's scroll down just a little bit. Elaine says, "I think flagrants should only be called." All right, Mac is trying to get in here to see if it works. Where did Mac go? I think flagrant should only be called if they are intentional or not a basketball play, but sometimes contact just happens. Yeah, sometimes a hard foul is a hard foul. Uh-oh, where I go? There I go. All right, let's do that. Let's get Mac back on here. I'm gonna join. Where's Mac? Send me the link, Mac. All right, let's see if that works. I'm not sure if it works that way. If I join your call, there it is. It worked. So you open the call and I can still see you. And can you hear me? Check, check, check. All right, we back in here. Motown said his game was flagrant fouls. Yeah, you look like you'd be a hack. Motown looked like he wore black Air Force Ones when he played basketball. And a black mouthpiece. And a wife beater. And dolphin shorts. And long socks. Just out there. Rough. Elaine said, "I give Motown's son a couple of trophies." Well, according to Motown, his son was straight trash. I'm pretty sure he got. My dad never gave me any support. He said I was trash. You was trash, son. You was.
All right, see, am I on now?
Yeah, you been on. You on. I've been talking to myself for about 2 minutes. All right, man. I think we're about to wrap this thing up. I got a car project looking at me right in my face. You see, my setup is different. I'm sitting in the garage, big screen behind me. Door behind me. Somebody can bust up in here and just say, "What's going on?"
Yeah, I turned it off. Turned off the volume. All right. So what's up, AC? What we doing now?
I think we're about to wrap this thing up, man. You said, what else did you say on there? You said playoff, black coaches 3 out of 4, PG-3 13, redemption. I think that's a bit. That's it, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Dodgers tripping a little bit. We keep them in our keep them lifted up in our prayers. We kind of injured a little bit. Pitchers getting sweated by the umpires is hilarious. What else is going on? I think that's it. We got Pistons picking first. I don't think it really hits home until the kids get into camp and see what you got.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold off on that. But we got some track and field this weekend.
Yeah, we got some of the I think we got the 400 hurdles finals and the 200 meter finals for the Olympians for the Olympic trial. So that should be interesting.
Men and women.
Yeah, men and women.
All right, we're gonna check that out, man. All right, man. Final words.
Forget what tomorrow, honey? Oh, and the California State High School Championship finals are tomorrow as well, track and field. So
all right, cool.
That's final words. I pray for the people that was in that building that collapsed in Miami. That's super sad. I couldn't watch it today because they said it was like over 150 people still trapped in that building.
Wow.
And that has to be tough for their family and friends to go through, see that. and that's gonna be tough. But on a brighter note, I want to wish my wife a happy anniversary. 17 years and an hour and a half. It'll be 17 years having to put up with her stuff, and being told what to do with my life. So 17 years of that tomorrow. So it's good times. It's been good times. So happy anniversary, honey. And yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it.
I got 23 years on Sunday coming up.
All right. All right.
Coming up. So yeah, it's that time of year. Everybody's celebrating anniversaries, and everybody got married in June, apparently, back in the day. But yeah, I want to say shout out to my first high school coach when I first stepped foot on campus, Maurice Valentine. He passed away yesterday. Shout out to Coach Val. I remember it like it was yesterday. I kind of knew I was going to be a decent football player. But when I got out there and did my tryouts, because I played tight end and defensive end in Pee Wee. I wasn't even, a star player at all. I was just, a utility guy. I could play quarterback, running back, tight end, defensive end. And got to high school in the 10th grade. We still had 9th grade junior high. So I got to high school in 10th grade, and Coach Val held tryouts, and I killed it. Every little drill, every little agility test, all those things. He said, man, you're going to be pretty good. And he gave me that little confidence early on as a 15-year-old that, you can do this at a high level. When the varsity coaches see you, they're going to like you. So I really appreciated him. He still kept me at tight end, though. He kept me at tight end. He had me play quarterback when the quarterback got caught tagging. My boy N Branch was a tagger. He is now a really celebrated serviceman of the Marines over 25 years or whatever. But he started out as a tagger. He was our quarterback, and he got caught tagging with Sharpie markers in his locker. So I had to play quarterback on 2 hours notice. So I had to learn how to run the option. If we had to run the option, we had no real offense. So Coach Val say, "Cobb, I need you to run quarterback." He had a little lisp. "I'm gonna need you to play quarterback today." I'm like, at 3:00. Oh boy, I had to learn to play quarterback in a couple of hours. We still had a good time. We won the game. But yeah, man, shout out to Coach Val, man. One of my first coaches in high school.
Prayers and blessings to his family, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. That's about it. Tremaine came in the house. What up, man? Main's a Charger fan, so he's down with that. I
feel you.
You can get down with Mac and his wife. They both Charger fans. Oh, that girl just ran. There she go. She said, "Don't mess with me." This is last week. There she go.
Yep, the prelims. Yep.
Her arm out.
Man, I would have got her in high school. Oh yeah, she would have been my Friday girl. We would have gotten many fights at the club. I'll bring her up in there, and she'd be like, "Who y'all looking at? Don't mess with me." Oh yeah.
Dallas, representing Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Did she go to Carter High School?
Oh no.
She went to Carter High School in Dallas.
Yeah. I would have had her just wondering about herself. Why don't he like me? Why he treat me like that? I was like, I ain't treating you like nothing. You got too much sass, too much attitude. I'm like the Mac, baby. You chose me. Thank you, Miss Mac. Happy anniversary for us.
Yeah, happy anniversary, man. Tell Joy we said happy anniversary, man. 23.
Yeah, 23. I believe Tremaine jumped on a vacation just recently. They were showing some pictures on, was it Cancun? Must be nice, Dr. Maine. Thank you, Elaine. All right, man. Blessings, everybody. We'll holler at y'all next time. 1585.
Thanks for coming out. Peace.
Yes, sir.